I thought of recording today's video in the most casual of the circumstances. I truly believe that the pertinence or the relevance of this video is most when you may be feeling totally relaxed. I've come back after a day's work today and I thought I'll record this video because the value of this video that you will find in this content will be most when you are feeling most comfortable and most compliant, I should say. So today's video is about how to set goals. See, when we feel comfortable, one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, said, the challenge in today's world is not that we are afraid to take steps. The challenge is that we have very easily conformed to our circumstances and situations. And that is where the value of goal setting comes in. See, let me give you an example. The bigger question is, why do we need to set goals? Imagine if there is a ship that is docked on a harbor and it is ready to leave. And if on that ship we decided to start the engines and just let it leave the harbor without putting a captain on the helm and a crew to manage the ship itself. Well, you and I will both agree that there is a very good chance that the ship is going to most likely end up somewhere shipwrecked at the bottom of the ocean floor. Imagine now that you put a captain on that ship and you also put a crew on it. There is a 99.9% chance the ship will reach its destination because it knows exactly where it is going and it has got someone like the captain who has got the destination clearly marked out in his head. So that's where the role of goal setting comes in. Goal setting prevents us from this one habit which is called drifting. Drifting is the word that I came across when I first read Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. In Outwitting the Devil, he is having a conversation with the devil and he's actually talking to the devil. Who are the people that the devil goes for and crushes with the passage of time? And the one answer to that is people who drift. Drift means people who are going from one thing to the other without having a main objective or a main purpose behind this. Now, the other question that comes, one is the why is the need to set goals. The second is when should we set goals? Now, a lot of people set goals in comparison to when they are comparing themselves to others. Like if you've got if somebody else in your friend circle has got a car, you want to get a better car, that becomes your goal. If somebody's got a 3-bedroom house, you want a 5-bedroom house, that becomes your goal. But I think the other time when people start to look at this with a lot of seriousness is when they go through crisis, when they go through adversity. And that is probably a more opportune time because you have been grounded. You have been actually given this realization that anything that you said was yours can be taken away from you anytime. So, goal setting is not just a material activity, as one of my other mentors said, that it's not that the purpose of goal setting is to just accumulate more material goods. It's the person that you become that is more important. So how should we start setting goals? Well, goal setting is a process, and I take inspiration for the purpose of this video. I take inspiration from a guy called Peter Drucker, who's supposed to be a management guru worldwide, and he has come up with this concept of SMART goals. Now, you would have heard of this in many places, and I like to apply it with my patients in the concept of health and well-being. And this SMART is a 5-letter word, SMART. Let's see what it means. S means specific. Your goal has to be very clearly defined. That means it is specific. What is the goal? Why are you setting the goal? And those are the things that come into the mix. Number 2 is measurable. That means when you achieve that goal, it can be measured. More importantly, that measure has a meaning for you. So that stands for M. Next is A. A is achievable, which means you need to be able to believe that you can achieve it. If you don't even believe that you can achieve it, the first obstacle is going to throw you off course. The next is, the fourth one is realistic. When I say realistic, I mean, if you are, significantly unwell and you desire to land on the moon, well, that may not be a very realistic goal. Having said that, you take small steps and you work towards the big goal that you're working towards. And the last and perhaps the most important is the T, which is the timeline, or your goal has to be time bound. Now, when it comes to time, I often say one thing, that don't be rigid about your timelines. And that's where I want to put a little word of caution, or 3 things that I would want to share with you, that I want you to understand, which override and allow this SMART principle to work well. The first thing is, do not copy. Whenever you're setting a goal, don't copy others. You are one of the 7 billion people on this planet. Secondly, be flexible. Don't be rigid. You can always adjust your timelines, but make sure that your goal is specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, and you believe in it. Because once you start assuming the feeling that is at the end of achieving that goal, the timeline starts to become irrelevant. And the last and the most important thing that I want to say is that if you can think it, I would urge you to ink it. Once again, I'll repeat it. If you can think it, make sure you ink it. That means write it down. Don't just have things in your head. You have to put it down on paper, because that's when they start to take shape. Once again, I would say this to you, that you can't change the destination overnight, but you can certainly change the direction of your life. Think about it. You can't change the destination overnight, but you can certainly change the direction of your life. I hope you found some value in this video, and I'll see you next time.